Hey, this is Brother Taj with Your Colfax News, and I am here with Imam Ali with the Northeast Denver Islamic Center. And today we're going to talk about some things that are going on in the local Islamic community, as well as things that are going on here at the Imam Ali. Thanks for joining me today.
Pleasure.
Let's jump right in. I want to give us a little bit of background about this particular community and this particular mosque. I mean, it's located in the Park Hill area. How long have you been here, and what's the flavor of this community?
Well, we've been here for 8 years now, and of course, this community is a part of the community of Imam Warthadeem Muhammad. When we started in a little storefront, about 500 square feet storefront, and we had to get a bigger, more dignified place, and Allah led us here.
Excellent. Now, Imam Warthadeem Muhammad is Elijah Muhammad's son, and he is known to have modified the teachings of the Nation of Islam to embrace the Sunnah. And so this is a national following, a very historic following, especially in the African American community. And this community is part of that national fabric. How prominent is this community in general, in terms of not just in Denver, but within the national fabric, in your estimation?
Well, in terms of the national community that supports that leadership, is over 2 million Muslims, easily.
Nice, nice. Now, here at this particular masjid, you face a lot of the challenges of growth. You face a lot of the challenges of disseminating the message of Islam in a more of an urban type of community. Talk a little bit about those things that you experience here.
Well, in terms of growth, you know, we are always trying to establish model community life like that which was established during the time of Prophet Muhammad, the prayers and the peace be upon him, and sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we have been growing as a community, and we want to establish institutions. As Imam Muhammad, who's the scholar known throughout the Islamic world, he said that you have a masjid, that's good. You have a beginnings of a school, that's good, that's very good, but that's not enough. That we have to have other institutions. We need to have cultural centers. We need to have business and industry. You know, you have to have economic development. And if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to grow and expand and do the things that you need to do as a community.
Right, so infrastructure is definitely important.
Very important.
Now, one of the things, again, in terms of growing, is that you face in terms of challenges and then also responsibilities is fundraising. And I know you have a fundraiser coming up. I want you to speak a little bit about that. Now, in the past, you've had fundraisers where keynote speakers have been local, such as Imam Ali, who's a renowned poet, but you've also had Imam Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter, also in attendance. Yes. Give us a little preview about what you're going to have for this year.
This year, we expect to have Dr. Jamal Badawi. He won't be able to come physically because of the band, the Trump band. But we will have him be present through Skype.
Okay.
And we're also going to have Dr. Abdullah Ali from Zaytuna Institute.
Okay, Zaytuna Institute in California.
In California, okay. Yes. So nice. He'll be the keynote along with Dr. Badawi. Excellent,
excellent. So that gives me a perfect segue into politics. Now, we know, and as Muslims, we have to navigate through the political backdrop now, especially on the national level with President Trump and his Muslim ban issues. Give me your take on that.
Well, I mean, he wants to fight against Allah. He wants to wage war against Allah. Let him have at it. He's not going to win. He's just going to crash and burn like that. So I think he better make some adjustments. But it's also a test for the Muslim community, whether or not we have the courage and the strength to stand up against oppression, because this is oppression. And we have got a lot of support from the American people, Jews, Christians, and others who are supporting us. But the Muslims have to be courageous and stand up.
What do you see happening, and what are you involved in, especially on a local level? Now, I know personally you are everywhere, it seems, and especially involved politically. What are you seeing, especially on the horizon, in terms of the greatest challenges and some of the biggest issues that are posed by the political climate, especially for Muslims?
Well, in terms of fortunately for us, being in this geographical location, being in Denver, Colorado, we have made strides to talk with our political leaders. You know, we have a good relationship with the mayor, have an excellent relationship with the governor, and we meet with them or someone from their office on occasion, and they ask us sometimes to do things for them, and as long as it's in accord with the religion, then we try to help. One
of the most recent issues that occurred politically on a local level was the bill introduced by Representative Salazar that pertained to registry for Muslims and some other things politically as well. I know you were involved with that. Give me your impression about what has happened and the progress of that particular bill right now.
Well, I was at the Capitol yesterday, and there was a rally for that bill. You had people from the Japanese community that came out, the people from the Latina community that came out in support of the bill, Christians and Jews. So it was a strong support was shown for that bill. Now the bill passed.
Okay.
Praise be to God, it passed, but we have to have more Muslim support.
Right, so it passed in the House, so we're now looking at it going to the Senate, and we need, some support to make sure that it passes in the Senate as well, because I think there's probably, I think you'd agree, more of a challenge now with the bill in the Senate with opposition to it.
Yes, you're going to have more challenge in the city because the Senate is mostly controlled by Republicans who support Trump.
Right.
So, so in order to get their attention, you have to have, people from the community, the Muslim community, have to come out. You have to see, you have to have a critical mass of people that come out to show support for this bill.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate you joining us today, and we look forward to seeing more work from you. You are personally a friend of mine and an inspiration to me, but definitely a pillar in this community. And this mosque here is an asset to the community, and it's our hope, my hope, and everyone's hope that knows you and is also part of this community and even outline that it stays here and continues to grow. Now, let me ask you, as you mentioned before, you're affiliated with the leadership of Wafdi Muhammad, and this mosque is part of that national network. I would like you to clear up any confusion anyone has about that particular affiliation, because the fact that Wafdi Muhammad is Elijah Muhammad's son, some people have confused this community for a long time with the Nation of Islam, and somehow in their minds have felt like that delegitimizes the spiritual viewpoints and also the growth and the legitimacy of this community as an actual Muslim community that is grounded in the Sunnah and grounded in scholarship and also in faith practices. Speak a little bit about that.
Yes, well, we're in association with the community of Imam Wafdi Muhammad, but we have to understand Imam Wafdi Muhammad is a renowned worldwide scholar of Islam, and he follows the Book of God, the Quran, the Book of Allah, and the Sunnah, or the life example of Prophet Muhammad, and his uswa, his excellent character. So Imam Muhammad was a follower of Prophet Muhammad. May Allah forgive him any errors and grant him the paradise, Imam Muhammad. So we follow the Quran and the Sunnah. So we have to make that clear to people. When Imam Muhammad became the leader of our community after the passing of his father, he brought, I would say, 85% of the then Nation of Islam to the Quran and the Sunnah, and the understanding of it, which is most important, the understanding of it and the application of the Quran and Sunnah. So the largest religious conversion in American history took place in 1975.
Indeed.
So I just, we want to make that clear to the audience.
And I think it's important for people to understand as well that Imam Muhammad and his community going forward have probably been in the forefront of emphasizing the idea of American Islam, that as Muslims, our life and our experiences as Muslims and American citizens meld together in a cohesive ideal in and of itself. And I don't know too many people who've been able to emphasize and flesh that out and make that a reality for so long. So,
well, it's very important to understand that, I mean, we're in America, we have the opportunity to practice Islam freely here. Although there were people who came before us who suffered all kind of oppression in order to establish Islam in America. So we have to be mindful and cognizant of that we don't forget those early pioneers who established Islam here in America. We're in a good situation being here in America. The American people need to be more educated in terms of what Islam is about, and we have opportunity to do that. Now, there's other madhabs, Maliki, Hanbali, etc., the different madhabs. They were in different geographical locations, and we are in America. So, there's some good things about those schools of thoughts that will be very helpful for us here in America, and there's some other things that that's not going to be the same because we're in a different time period and a different geographical location. So we have to be conscious of that.
Now, you have two events we mentioned earlier about fundraising. You have two events on the horizon. You have the actual fundraiser for the mosque, but you also have this interfaith event that's coming up very soon. Talk more about that.
Yeah, the fundraiser is April 29th this year, 2017. It's going to be at the Holiday Inn, Cherry Creek.
Okay.
It starts at 5:30. We're inviting people to come. This upcoming, well, actually next Saturday, March the 25th, we will have an interfaith gathering here at Masjid Taqwa. We will have the Temple Micah from the Jewish community. They will be here. And we invited that community along with Park Hill United Methodist Church.
Okay.
They're coming as well. And a sizable portion of the community of, I'm getting their name now. Senegalese.
Right.
The Senegalese community, they will be here too. So we're going to speak among the leadership of the faith communities. We'll speak 5 to 10 minutes apiece. And then we're going to eat.
Well, that's most important right there. So guys, don't forget, we've got two events. We have the fundraiser, that's April 29th. And again, we'll have keynote speakers, Jamal Badawi and Abdullah Ali. And also the most recent event that's going to come up is the March 25th event. That is a huge interfaith gathering. We'll have the participations of both the Jewish and Christian community members here that are local here. And as the Imam said, most importantly, there should be some good food and some good conversation.
Yes, absolutely right. We're going to have American food. The Jews say they're going to bring dessert. The Christians say they're going to bring dessert too. The Senegalese are going to be bringing food. So we're gonna have.
Well, I'm bringing a fork and a napkin tucked
And
in my shirt.
we have Shea Ali, the restaurant. They're going to be sponsoring some of the food as well.
Excellent.
Which is Mediterranean cuisine.
Excellent. Well, shout out to Shea Ali for also providing the eats, and I will actually be an expert in being able to tell you how it went down. So, this is Brother Taj with Your Colfax News. Again, I'm here with Imam Ali, and who's the Imam of the Northeast Denver Islamic Center, and we've been talking about issues pertaining to this particular community, this mosque, and the community in general. Now, Northeast Denver Islamic Center, and also under the name Masjid Taqwa, is located in Park Hill on 34th and Albion, right on the corner. The address is 3400 Albion Street in Denver. There are services here throughout the week, especially the Friday prayer service that occurs at 1 o'clock p.m. There are also a lot of community services, and the imam and the community is involved in a myriad of events, a myriad of causes, especially interfaith and also social justice causes. If you'd like to know more, come to our network, the Your Colfax News Network. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram. You can contact us there for any questions and also further information about this community and about Imam Ali as well. Thank you for joining. We'll see you again.